Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
There are so many bad faith arguments being made here. The first is the instant political attack, these claims that MAGA people are too dumb to go to college, and that's the only reason why they have no issue with these student loan payments being now reinstated. But I find that a little bit rich coming from the crowd that's drowning in debt for a gender studies degree or for art theory and postmodern basket weaving degrees. I mean, these people are literally the poster children for bad financial decisions, and their argument is that they want you to pay for it while insulting you because you're apparently not as smart as them. No, you're just a MAGA who was too dumb to drown themselves in $200,000 in debt to spend 8 years in university getting a social studies degree. First off, if you're engaging in political activism surrounding student loan debts, and basically your argument is that you want blue-collar people and business people to pay for your bad financial decisions, you probably shouldn't lead by insulting half the country, and also there should be merit behind your argument. But frankly, I'm not giving it to them. I'm noticing a pattern of entitlement, and most commonly in these videos, blame shifting. You keep hearing the same line over and over again. We were told to get a degree and that everything would just magically work out. I mean, come on. Take some accountability for your own actions. It's not everybody else's fault that you went into a crippling financial situation to get a garbage degree. You made that decision. Nobody made that decision for you. This whole situation boils down to a complete and total lack of accountability. They made poor life decisions and now they want society to bail them out. Not because their education benefits anyone, but because they feel like victims. But you are a victim of your own decision making, not a victim of society or societal standards. Nobody told you to go to a $70,000 a year out-of-state school to get a social science degree, a degree that would likely put you in a position with no real job prospects. That's not oppression, that is stupidity. You probably should have done the responsible thing and went to a local school or maybe a community college, somewhere you could actually afford. You should have probably looked at yourself objectively, what your prospects were looking like, and then make a logical decision. But the reality is, a lot of people make some illogical decisions. They make bad decisions, and now they want other people to bail them out. And the argument is that other people should pay for their education because it's good for society as a whole, right? You heard in the earlier clip, a rising tide lifts all boats. But that's a complete joke. Maybe that is true for important degrees, but important, useful, productive degrees actually don't need to be subsidized because they lead to high-paying jobs where people can then pay off their student loans. This idea that taxpayers need to mass subsidize everybody's university and college dreams is insane. If anything, we need less overly educated smug liberals. We need less social studies majors, to be quite honest. The idea that taxpayers would subsidize sending everybody to university and college just to become some left-wing social study drone NPC, it's just dumb. And frankly, I think the conversation should probably head in the other direction. There should be a conversation around disincentivizing this kind of behavior. This notion that everybody needs to go to college, everybody needs to go to get an expensive degree. It's just not realistic. If you don't have the talent, if you don't have the grades, you probably shouldn't, to be quite honest. And subsidizing this issue is far from the solution. If anything, it would make things worse. It would subsidize the racket and send the nation further into debt. There has to be basic accountability here. If you made a decision to go to an expensive school to get a useless degree, you put yourself in that position. You took on the debt. Somebody paid for that debt. In this case, these are federal loans, so the taxpayers paid for that debt. And now you simply have to pay it back, pure and simple. And look, with all that being said, I'm not sitting here saying that the system is absolutely perfect. There's obviously a problem. Certainly, the whole higher education system and the financial loans that surround it, it's obviously a racket. You got these big interest debts that are being sold, frankly, to dumb kids who don't know what the hell they're doing. And the interesting part about these debts is that you actually can't get rid of them even by declaring bankruptcy. So sure, I know it's really tough for some people. And clearly there's some deep corruption going on. I mean, the cost of higher education has gone up disproportionately. They're obviously taking advantage of the situation. The schools are involved and they're selling these overpriced garbage degrees to idiots. There's predatory practices. But again, the solution is not to subsidize this predatory system. The smartest thing is to reform the system, to educate people on the issues. Not everyone should go to college or university. These kids need to be told, do you want to go to school? Well, you got to make sure that you actually have some prospects. Make sure that you'll be able to pay your way through, or make sure that you're putting yourself in a position where you're studying a field that will land you in a high-paying job, like being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an industry where you could actually justify going to get that degree, where you'll make good money and then pay off that student debt. Make sure you're one of those people. Otherwise, pick a damn trade. Start a business. Do something else. It's really that simple. I personally think in the Western world, not just in America, but across the Western world, there's an epidemic of overly educated morons. Maybe that sounds mean, but I truly believe it. And the idea that taxpayers should be subsidizing that epidemic, I just can't get behind it. Yes, the system is broken. Colleges are bloated scam factories, churning out ideological robots, charging Ivy League prices for third-rate degrees. It needs reform big time, absolutely. But what message does it send to then demand the taxpayers fund that racket? What good could that possibly do? Where is the value in that? If anything, this system should be starved, and the individuals who made those poor decisions should serve as a warning sign, a cautionary tale for everybody else. Don't stack debt to go to a super expensive school to study useless crap just so you could dye your hair pink and wear a septum ring and look down on hardworking, productive people as you record your TikTok videos. This world needs more hardworking, productive people, not more pompous, overly educated, condescending desk jockeys. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you.